engaging on the app Anchor. So let me just do this real quick. I'm going to want to do it in about 5 minutes so I can get back to sending out the emails I need to for work. So friends, here we go. Listening to that. Up the volume. You can hear that. Started listening to it already. So then I'm going to add it. I have the entire thing. I don't mess around with trimming it. KT and the Anchor Nation, Sherm, the crazy agent here. Thank you so much for that. Be the engager. Love that comment. That's exactly what you need to do. If you go on the offensive to help others, surprisingly, they'll help you win. Sherm's out. Help others to win. Boom. So I have it also going to Twitter. I take some of it off on Facebook, so that way it's just not too many when I do the shout outs like this, or else it's just too much. Where Twitter, it definitely has this feel that you can just keep pumping stuff out, and then people that, because the way that it comes up in your feed, it doesn't seem like it's too excessive. That's what we're going to do.
Sure.
So next one.
It's Diaz of Nuts. Everything you're saying about.
Boom, here he goes. Added it. Boom, it's on the air. So boom, we go to record. Nick Diaz of Nuts. Sure, I'm the crazy agent here. Thank you so much for your comments. Really, really appreciate that about it being a disruptor. And I thought, what a great way to be able to enhance your experience. So if I'm a DJ, right now it hasn't disrupted the space, I would literally be leveraging the heck out of Anchor. So whatever clips that I was doing on the talk show on my radio, I would then be recording it while I'm doing it on Anchor, and I'd be uploading it in a live format. And that way, then at the end of it, I would take all those segments and I would make my own podcast from my radio show. Now, of course, if you have a non-compete, I don't know how that would affect, but you're basically promoting the radio station, so I don't think it's really that big of a deal. And what you're doing is you're basically setting yourself up so you can have that Tarzan method we talked about yesterday when it came to moving from one job to the next. You have this nice fluid movement, and so that's going to be really, really helpful. The other way that I would leverage Anchor space-wise right now is if I wanted to promote specific kinds of music or athletes. I'm basically in this like interview kind of opportunity. I will look at ways that I could be able to connect with people that are in that space and promote them at the same time, hear their story, and start building out my network. It goes back to that old adage, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that means who you know online and who you know offline, face to face, belly to belly. Sherm's out. I like the Sherm's out. I know some people don't like it, but I think I get more positive reactions from the Sherm's out than I do the negative ones. So, so I'm putting in a caption. I'm calling it Anchor for the radio and what was that? Journalist. And I'm going to put that. I'm going to actually send that one to Facebook, and then I add it. So then it just takes a little bit of time, and I wait for it, and then it'll say publish at the very bottom. So I know I could go and record another segment, but I've done it where it didn't actually upload the next segment, so I wait till it gets that, boom, published. So then we'll go here to the next call in. Thank you from Positive Vibes.
Hey, Positive Vibes. I wear the mask. Main concept, don't judge a book by its cover. Main goal, spreading the positivity any way possible.
Nice.
I started checking you out. I saw you on Facebook. I followed you there, and also on Instagram.
There you
and to be honest, I wanted to say thank you because Anchor, I remember being there years ago.
Okay.
I was on there but never took it too seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
But seeing you posting, I tried it out, and now I have my Positive Vibes 101 station and Positive Vibes Influence podcast.
And you're welcome. So a lot of times, people that they're not huge consumers, they're not huge engagers. He likes some of my stuff here and there, but he's watching and he's realizing that, hey, you know what? I see you posting up so much using Anchor. Maybe I should give this thing a go. Maybe I should be checking it out again. So I'm going to publish his entire call. That's just by pressing the plus sign, and then I go straight to record, and I'm going to make reference to that. So Positive Vibes. Positive Vibes. Sherm here, the crazy agent. Thank you for that call and appreciate you thanking me. But let's be honest. There's no person to thank but yourself that you decided to do something about it, that even though you'd used the app in the past and you didn't really get any good reactions and build up a decent following, and it sounds like it was in a different setting back then and in regards to engagement, but now you yourself decided to create that podcast, create your anchor segments. So I applaud you for taking the initiative that when you saw me do something, you decided despite what you experienced in the past, you were still going to go do something and engage. So I'm looking forward to checking out your segments and listening to them. And of course, your influence of spreading positive vibes, I really like that. I think it's important to be able to let people know that they can focus on the positive things of life. There are some tough things that we go through, and that's just the reality. However, we have the opportunity, we have the choice, really the choice. Do we talk about the things that are going bad, or do we talk about the things that are going good? And I'm not saying that you can never talk about the bad things, because I think it's important to talk through those things, because it can be very therapeutic for people to be able to get that out there. At the same time, I hear your story, some of the struggles that you might have gone through, and I can say to myself, okay, well then beware of that. Be careful of not doing something like that. So your life can actually be used as a warning to others if, let's say, you made a bad mistake or you did something horrible, or unfortunately, if you decided to take so much cocaine that you OD'd, unfortunately, your life is now an example of what not to do. Let's just not do drugs. And that's just the harsh reality of people's lives, right? So some can motivate us by what they're doing. Others can motivate us by what they're doing that we shouldn't be doing. And both are really important to be able to have in order to know where we want to play in our lives, and it can affect the different decisions that we make. So I appreciate you, Positive Vibes, spreading that positivity. I think that's important for people to be able to, I'd rather people to be optimistic. I'd rather you be hopeful on good things to come versus, hey, I'm just being a realist, which is more like you're just saying that so you can be cynical or pessimistic, that in your mind, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. An optimist is always saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. And that's the formula that I prescribe to. I enjoy looking at the positive things of life. I like for myself to tell myself by putting a positive spin on things. And by being able to do that, it allows me to be mentally free from worry. I really don't worry about things. I bust my hump, I do what I can, and I let the chips fall where they may. Sherm's out. There we go. So that's how I did it. It's 7 minutes and 50 seconds. So it took me about 8 minutes to be able to go through and do some engagement there. And then now I'll shut it down and I'll go back to the emails that I need to send out. I wrote a list down of what I need to get done. It's in my book bag, my bag for work. And then after that, I will reach out with some phone calls to some people and set up some more meetings. That's basically what we do. I go to meetings, I have phone calls, and I set up more meetings and have phone calls. And those meetings, typically I'm asking people what they want to do and where they want to go, and seeing if my services can help them. Sherm's out.